Hey there, happy Saturday, the Saturday after Halloween. It takes a minute for me to get everything set up before we get into the topic that we're going to address during this live stream, which is podcast hosting and distribution with Buzzsprout. I have my water. Let me tell you, setting up these live streams are no joke. I wish that you could see everything that I have going on all at once. I feel pretty accomplished and pretty proud of myself that I've been able to go live. It's been 4 Saturdays, but it's very stressful. And sometimes you just don't have time to put makeup on, or you don't have time to make your hair look less frizzy. But here I am. The important thing is that I show up and that I am here and that I'm becoming quite the streamer. My goal is to be like Tom Buck. If you haven't checked Tom's YouTube channel, you should. He's an amazing creator here on YouTube. And he does live streaming as well for his YouTube channel. And he does it so well, so effortlessly. We all want to be like Tom, when it comes to live streaming. And so hopefully it goes well. If you want to share where you're tuning in from, let's just interact a little bit before we get started. Hey there, Gary and Leslie from Asia. Ooh, which part of Asia? That's interesting. So let's go ahead and get started with the live stream. If this is the first time that you're tuning in on Saturday, we're going back to the basics with podcasting. So this is my series of podcasting one-on-one. If you are already an experienced podcaster, you may find this information a little bit redundant and boring because you have everything under control. Everything is working smoothly for you. You're already familiar with all of this information. You already know about podcast hosting because you're hosting and distributing your podcast. So, but if you're new, well, with that being said, if you want to stay here and hang out, we have a lot of fun on Saturdays. You can stay. But if you are new, this information is going to be very, very useful for you if you are in the process of doing your research and planning your podcast launch. Let me stop this notifications. So I've been getting so many text messages. I have to vent. Just if you would give me the space to vent about the elections. It's been really crazy, the amount of text messages that I am been getting because I haven't voted just yet. So have you, if you are here in the United States, have you voted? If you haven't, maybe you are experiencing the same harassment that I have been experiencing, is just text messages. I would say I get a text message every hour, and the closer you get to election day, the text messages, they're getting more and more intense. I get more of those every day. I mean, so far this morning, I've gotten 10. They should know that I'm a Colombian and that I leave everything for last minute, but I always come through. So that was my venting. No more text messages and no more phone calls. Okay, so welcome to this live stream once again. This is Pad Sound School, and I am Veronica, and I'm the content marketing person here at Pad Sound School. I am an instructor and also one of the creators in our channel. Maybe you probably come across one of my videos. If not, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel. As far as announcements, we are going to be posting our usual video on Sunday, tomorrow. And also, if you're already podcasting, if you have a show running and you are looking for an editor to help you produce your podcast, to help you edit your podcast, go to podsoundschool.com. I'm going to share that information later here on this live stream. And you can choose your editor. We trained our own editors, and they're currently looking to work on different projects. So if you are looking for an editor and you don't want to go to Upwork, or you don't want to go to Fiverr or places like that, you want to customized, personalized service from an editor that will become a team member, just go to podsoundschool.com, and there you will find on the upper menu a tab that's called Find Your Editor, and there you can go and choose your editor and fill out the form, and then we'll get back to you. With that out of the way, let's just get into the live stream. So today we are exploring podcast hosting and why Buzzsprout is our topic. I will do a little recap of last week's live stream because we talked about podcast hosting. So a little reminder, or maybe if you couldn't make it last Saturday, it will be very short. And then I will take you inside Buzzsprout and show you some of their cool features. Buzzsprout is a company that we support. They do great things for podcast creators, for independent podcasters. They're constantly releasing new features to support creators. On their website, you can find different resources. If you're new to podcasting, that will teach you anything you need to know about podcasting. So they're a great resource as well. But we have been hosting our podcast Content Jefe with Buzzsprout since we started. It's been years, and it's one of those companies that we're very proud to be part of, and the work that they do is pretty amazing. They're not sponsoring this live stream. This is just something that I want to share with you, because I think if you are looking for a podcast host, Buzzsprout is a great option for you. And I'm going to show you what are the reasons and why it's important that you spend some time finding the right podcast host for your show, and not to sign up for any podcast host without doing your research. So I basically did the research for you. You're welcome. And also stick around, because towards the end of this live stream, I have other resources that I will throw your way. I have a free mini course that's called Idea to Podcast Simplified, and is for those who are new to podcasting. And I will show you how also you can sign up for Buzzsprout if at the end of this live stream you are interested in signing up for Buzzsprout. So what is a podcast hosting platform or a web host? So a web host, the main objective, or the main thing that they do, is that they store your podcast episodes, and that they distribute them to podcast directories like Apple Podcast, Spotify, and they do this via RSS, which is a code that you get from your web host, and from inside your web host, you set up all of this distribution. So every time you upload a new episode, then you don't have to manually distribute it to the different podcast players. This will become something that your podcast host does automatically when you publish your episode, which is pretty cool. And it also provides different tools for audience growth, community building, and monetization. And the way that I like to think about podcast hosting is that I think I imagine my podcast host being like the warehouse and distribution center for my episodes and the podcast directories like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, they are kind of like the store with shelves where they showcase my podcast. So that's kind of like the way I like to visualize it. So there's the warehouse where I store my episodes and where I set up and do all of the distribution. And then there's the podcast platforms, and they're like the stores where they showcase my podcast for users, for listeners. So that's the way I like to visualize it. So why choosing the right host matters? Well, mainly because after you've been with your podcast host and you discover that maybe you didn't do your research, or maybe the way that you started your show is not the same. Things change, and your podcast now demands other things, other features, and now you're being forced to find another podcast host, and then to transfer all of that data, to transfer your podcast from one host to the other is a process that requires a little bit of time for you that you will have to set aside, and you want to avoid this and just do your research before you sign up for a podcast host. And also because when you do this, and this is something that I want you to really, really think about, is that sometimes when we launch a podcast, we don't think about the future. It's like sometimes we don't even know where we're taking our podcast, or what are our big goals, or how much we want to grow, or maybe like we are afraid. We just want to start and have fun. But if you visualize like where you want your podcast to be in a year and 2 years and in 5 years, like how big is your audience? What are the things that you will be offering? What's the information that you will be using in order for you to create better episodes? Or what are the things that will keep supporting your growth, like even when your audience is in the thousands of listeners? So that's why it's important for you to think about those things before you sign up for your podcast hosting service. All of the podcast hosts, whether they're paid or free, they offer the same basic services: storage, distribution, and analytics. The difference is what they offer as far as features. And the features are very important because the features will have an impact on your ability to monetize, and your ability to grow your audience, also in your ability to distribute branded content, the different ways that you will maybe embed your players to your website, or how you're going to share your episodes from your web host to social media. So all of those features, they are really key when it comes to signing up for a web host. They don't, all of them don't offer the same features, and that's why it's important to know what are your goals, and also what are you using your podcast for. If you let's say that you are going to use your podcast, or that your podcast is going to be part of your content marketing for your business, and that you will have a different events and different things that you want to promote on your podcast, then you may want to find a podcast host that offers dynamic content, or the ability of introduce audio into your episodes, about you talking about different sponsors, or different events, or sales or promotions that you have going on throughout the year. So that's a feature that you are going to need, or a feature that will benefit you a lot if you're talking about your business on your podcast. And Buzzsprout is one of those web hosts that offers this feature. That's why we like it. So with that being said, I'm going to take you inside Buzzsprout. How are we doing? Do we have any questions about podcast hosting? I appreciate you tuning in on a Saturday. Any questions or comments before I'll show you inside Buzzsprout? I'm just going to wait a minute. It's getting really hot here in my office. I don't know if it's because I'm nervous or love your podcast show. You look tired. Get some rest. Yes. So I was looking of pictures of me yesterday, and yes, I do look tired, and I should get a nap right after this live stream. Thank you. Man, when you have 3 kids, it's intense. When you have 3 kids and you're running a business and you're trying to do all of the things, yeah. And also I didn't have time to put a little bit of makeup. So this is me. This is the real me, no makeup. This is how tired I look. Well, let's just go inside Buzzsprout. Let me switch things here. Okay, so I'm watching your videos for the past 3 years. Oh, this is another, let me go back. This is another comment. Let me bring you in. Okay. I'm watching your videos from the past 3 years. Very valuable information about podcasts and accessories. I see you and waited for videos, but today accidentally see you in live. So glad. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching our videos. 3 years. Wow. I appreciate you tuning in and appreciate you watching all of the videos that we post on our channel. Here's another one. A different question. Is the free beginner editing course still available? Yes. So we have, it's called Free Podcast Edit Lab. And pretty much this is a video mini course, a video lesson type mini course that Stephen teaches. And it's a way for you, it's supposed to be for beginners. So if you have experience when it comes to podcast editing, it may not be for you. But if you're brand new and you're curious to know what goes into podcast editing and you want to edit your first podcast episode, your first piece of audio, then it's perfect for you and you should go check it out. You can go to podcastingsmart.com/free edit lab. And I will share all those links in the description of this live stream. Or I can even, maybe I can just drop it in the chat. podcastingsmart.com/free edit lab. So there you go. Yeah, you can just drop that into Google. Sometimes, yeah, just drop it into Google and then you will find it. But yeah, thank you for the question. I hope we'll get to see you inside the mini course. Is a very valuable mini course. Applied yesterday, but I haven't gotten any feedback. Glad I have had the chance to ask. Also, you applied for Podcast Edit Lab. So we have the free Edit Lab and the podcast, video podcast Edit Lab. And the free Edit Lab is, like I said, you can take it for free, and you will edit an episode with Steven, and then you'll be able to, get into what a podcast editor does. It's very interactive, pretty fun mini course to take if you are undecided to whether or not get into podcast editing as a profession. But if you are done with that, and if you're ready to join the real Edit Lab, which is a 13 program, that a 13-week program is very intensive. It goes for 13 weeks, and it's a group coaching program. And you work with Steven and me, and then we'll pretty much teach you the skills on how to edit audio and video, so you can edit podcast, or you can edit video podcast, which is in high demand right now. And we'll also teach you how you can build your editing business online. That's the part that I teach in the course, how you can edit how you can launch your business as an editor online. So if you applied for the Edit Lab, I am the one who reviews applications, and then after that, we will send you an email. So be on the lookout for that email with a link for you to schedule a meeting with Steven for 10 minutes. And, it can be longer than that if you have more questions, but it's not, we don't want to take too much of your time. We just want to make sure that the program is a good fit for you. We like to do this by application only, because we want to get people who are really interested in becoming podcast editors and work in the industry and launch a business, a profitable business, editing content, and not only podcasts, but it will open up the big opportunities for you to edit audio as well. So we'll review that application and send you that email to meet with you. And thank you for the question. Okay, I like this one. Takes a lot of courage to do a live stream. I never thought about doing a live show, but it's now on my to-do list. I'm just getting started. What's your thoughts on going early? So thank you so much for this question. I am working on a video that I'm going to post here on our channel, and it's about live streaming and how it has helped me to get better at making content. So I'm one of those. I don't know, Gary, if you are like this, you might be, better than me when it comes to recording content. But I second guess myself. When I press record, I freeze. I'm very critical of myself. I'm very critical of the way I talk. I get overwhelmed. I get flustered. So for me, recording videos and podcast episodes, it's been a challenge. And since I've been going live on our channel, and since I've been, teaching our students, because we have to have live classes with our students, it has helped me tremendously to let go of all of the mental blocks that I have with recording content, and be of full acceptance of myself, and knowing that I am enough, that I know enough, and that the things that may come out of my mouth may not be perfect, but if they don't, that it doesn't really matter. Like, what matters is that I am showing up authentically, that maybe if I make a mistake, we all make mistakes, and we're humans. That's nobody has it perfect. And when you go live, it forces you to let go of all of those things, to show yourself as you are. Usually in my videos, because I just pump myself and I just had to bring the energy up, so I look more energetic and I look more with it. And then when people meet me in real life, I'm tend to be like more stoic, and I'm an introvert, and so that's kind of not me. And I am in the process of discovering who I am when it comes to content, when it comes to making content. This is a long answer for your question, Gary, but if you want to jump into doing live stream, it will improve your performance. It will improve, it will be very efficient because you will be creating the content right there. And then you can, when you're done with the live stream, you can leave that content on YouTube, or you can decide to make it private or to not post it, and then get the files, download the files from your live stream solution. And then you can edit those files and then upload the video files to YouTube. After you have done some editing to it, just make it more polished, just maybe take some things out when you diverted from the topic, or that you took some time to answer some questions or to interact with your audience. You can take that out and just post the what when you were talking about the topic. And then the audio, you can distribute the audio to the podcast players. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do with that content, but I will encourage you to just jump and do it, and it will help you tremendously, because you will have an audience. And sometimes when we know that we have an audience, we're more engaged, we're more eloquent, things come out of us very easily. Your audience is there to support you, to ask you questions, to really give you the energy. And also because you will be so caught up in one thing, which is to teach your audience, which is to share what you are supposed to be sharing with your audience, that you forget about the rest. You forget about perfection. You forget about, all of this dumb things that don't matter. Like, today, like, I look super tired. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. So I forget about all of that. And really, I'm here to share what I know, and to interact with you and answer all of the questions that you may have, and hopefully get you started with podcasting. Thank you for that question. I like the shushes. Hello, Veronica. Wishing you the best. Oh, thank you. Jorge Salandia. Thank you, Jorge. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by and say hi. It means the world to me. So now, what we came for here is Buzzsprout. So let me show you inside Buzzsprout. This is a really, really a cool web host. If you click here on the home tab, then you will see this screen. This screen is going to show you the latest episode that you uploaded to your podcast, the latest. But if we click on more, then you're going to see your entire library of episodes. Then if you keep scrolling down, then you have your analytics. And then, how cool is this? The different achievements that you have. I was looking into this, and it feels like Peloton. Like if you have Peloton, like how, the more that you finish workouts and the more that you do things inside the Peloton app, or if you have the bike or the treadmill, then you'll get these badges. And I love this because it makes you, it's an incentive for you to keep posting content, and for you to know, like for us to know that we have uploaded 141 episodes, and that we have had 7,683 downloads. That's pretty sweet. We started hosting our the Pod Sound School podcast on Buzzsprout since we started back in 2019. Yeah. And in 2021, we stopped. Was it 2022? I think it should tell me here. Oh yeah, April 2022, we decided to stop making the Pod Sound School podcast. We decided to take a break. We wanted to launch a video podcast, and we didn't see how the Pod Sound School podcast, would be a good fit for video, because mainly what we talked about on the podcast was about podcast production and audio production and different things. And we wanted to expand and talk about content. So we decided to launch the Content Jefe podcast. If you have not subscribed to the Content Jefe YouTube channel, you should go and subscribe to that channel, because that's my podcast. Yes, I have a podcast, and I have an episode coming up soon on that podcast where I talk about how we became content creators and how we got to be a business online. And so if you are interested of learning about the different ways that you can create content, how you can monetize your content, how you can use content to grow your business, all of that, then the Content Jefe podcast is for you. But we are bringing back our podcast, Pod Sound School. We have not decided how often we're going to be releasing episodes, but this is our latest episode that Steven recorded this morning and posted this morning. It's a short episode, but it talks about the audio production and advanced editing. And let me take you inside. So this is what you do every time. I'm sorry. Let me take some water. So let's go inside, and I'll show you every time you upload an episode to Buzzsprout how it looks like. So this is the episode. So it's going to take you, let's click on edit. So there is a place where you say upload, and you bring your MP3 or your WAV file into the little screen that says upload, and then from there, you start filling out the information. The cool thing about Buzzsprout is that they are incorporating also AI tools here for creators, which is really cool. You don't have to leave Buzzsprout to use any other AI tool. Like right here, Buzzsprout is going to, after you have uploaded the episode, is going to give you title ideas that you can use. This is very helpful because sometimes we create the episode and we have no idea how to title it properly. I've seen some podcast creators, some that are not using the best practices when it comes to titling their episodes, and this is important because you should be titling your episodes. So it really creates curiosity for somebody who's browsing for new episodes. And also because if you include keywords to your titles, people searching for certain kind of content on the podcast players may found your episode this way. So these are the different titles that the AI tool here inside of Buzzsprout is suggesting. We went with this one, audio production and advanced editing. Then underneath, you want also to have your episode description. You can type your episode description here, or you can, have all of that information on a document and then copy and paste that information right here in this little window. Also, if you click here on the co-host AI, you can get an episode description suggested to you that is well written. And I am not a fan of long descriptions. I don't read long descriptions. When they are super long, when I open, the learn more about the episode and I see this, I'm like, no, thank you. I'm not going to read all that. And same with my YouTube videos. I try to be a minimalist when it comes to the description. So I would recommend, if you're going to use co-host AI, just to read through it and just provide your listener with what's important. But this is even a great piece of writing that you can use for your newsletter as well. or for, if you want to send an email to your email subscribers, this can pretty much tells you what the episode is about. But here in your description, you can add all of the links to your website, to the different products that you are selling. If you are promoting your business, I should put myself in bubbles so you can see my face, or maybe since I am not looking my best, let's see if I can add a bubble to this. Just give me 1 second. And I will add my, there. Hello, Veronica. ¿Cómo estás? Let's move this out of the way. Yes. And look, I can even, let's just make it a circle. Oh no. Let's just make it a squircle. That's a squircle. Never mind. Classic? Yeah, let's just do classic. So, and then we have, oh no, never mind. What's going on? Okay. Oh, things got out of hand. Okay, so then if we have individual episode artwork for our episodes, let's say that's what we do as part of our production workflow. Every time we released a new episode, then we create artwork for that episode. Then we can select if we click here on select, we can choose the file from our computer, or we can click on design with Canva, and this will take you to Canva. So Buzzsprout is integrated with Canva, and here you can start working on your individual episode design, and then you can send to Buzzsprout. And then you add, the season, the episode number, and whether it's a full episode, a trailer, or a bonus episode. If you swear like a sailor, if you drop some F-bombs, make sure that you talk to topics that are explicit, then make sure that you check this so the audience is alerted about the type of content that they will be listening to. And then you save all of the changes that you make to this. If you are uploading it for the first time, then you'll be able to, let's click here. You can schedule the episode to be, let's just cancel this. You can schedule the episode to be published at a certain time, or you can right there publish the episode. And like I said, it will go to all of the podcast players, all the podcast players, podcast directories. You can add chapters to your episodes. If you know that, the first 2 minutes of the episode, that's the intro, then that will be the chapter. If you know that the next 20 minutes, you talk about something that is, that people may be searching for individually, and you want to add a chapter for it so people can go directly, so your audience can go directly to that piece of content so they can easily navigate the episode, then you should add chapters. I like chapters because sometimes I don't have the time to listen to an entire episode, and I just want to get the information quick. I just want to see what the host is talking about depending on the topic that they're covering in that episode. So I like to just browse through the chapters and go to the meat and potatoes faster. And here with Co-Host AI, the AI tool from Buzzsprout, you can get chapter ideas, chapter markers. So I think it seems like it's going to take a while, or maybe isn't working because the episode is too short. So we can try this with longer episode. But then after you have added your chapters, you click on save and update, and that's your episode. And if I click here on directories, I will know where this episode is available at, because I have already linked all of the podcast players to my Buzzsprout account. So I know that that episode went to Apple Podcast, it went to Spotify, it went to Amazon Music, Podcast Index, it went to iHeartRadio. I haven't done you can even link your RSS feed now to YouTube, so it makes it your episodes will go automatically to YouTube, the without you doing any other additional work. They will go to YouTube Music, and then you will have we'll go to Podchaser, to Pocket Cast, and all of these other podcast players. And this is something that you set up the moment that you set up your account with Buzzsprout. And something that I wanted to show you. So here we are on the home button. Let's look at the players. So this is really cool. I'm going to show you. If you haven't been playing with this, maybe you're a brand new to, okay, how can I embed my episodes to my website? Because I want my audience to be able to listen to my podcast from my website. I created a landing page for my podcast, and I just want to embed the episodes from my web host. This is a really cool thing to do if you are also running a blog on your website, because you can have your blog article and then you can embed the episode that goes with that blog article there on the blog. Or right here, you can decide that you want to have just a landing page with all of your episodes. People can scroll through the episodes and listen to anything that catches their eye. And or you can say all episodes, 5 more most recent episodes, 10 most recent episodes, or the 20 most recent episodes, or episodes with certain tags. That's another one, something that I didn't show you. But when you're uploading your episodes, let's say that your podcast is, let's say it's about a parenting teenagers, and within the parenting of teenagers, then you have physical health, you have different episodes about physical health, mental health, or hobbies, or different topics that you cover on your podcast. And you can add a tag to those episodes, the ones that are about physical health, the ones that are about mental health, or the ones that are about spiritual health. And then here you can use that tag and get those episodes by topic. So here I'm going to choose to get the most recent episodes, and I'm going to copy the embed code, and I'm going to go to my website. And this is a landing page I am working on for the Content Cafe podcast, not Pad Sound School podcast. And then if I do edit, I'm going to click here and say add block. And then from here, I want to click on embed. And then I will drag this here and then click on edit. And then from here, click on code snippet. So if you use Squarespace, then this is going to be very easy for you to do. Just, do this. Or if you use any other website service provider, then they're going to have a way for you to embed code into your different landing pages. And then here we click on the embed data, and then we copy the code and then go back. And then let's see, preview save mode. So this is going to give you a preview, but let's hit save and let's see how it looks. If we click out of here, we click on exit, so we can see the preview of the page. And then we click here on preview, and this is how it's going to look. My latest 5 episodes of the Pod Sound School podcast on Buzzsprout. And I'm not going to play the audio because it's going to create a horrible feed, and then you may also not be able to listen to, because we're having some problems with playing audio files on Ecamm Live. So, but here they are. So this is a way that you can embed your podcast players, your podcast player from Buzzsprout into your website and have your audience listening to the podcast right there from a browser from your website. How cool is this? If we let's go back to Buzzsprout, another cool thing that I am really excited to get into is this website. They have a customized website for podcast creators. So let's say that you don't have a website, you're brand new to, you don't have a website, you don't have a business online. This is the first thing that you are doing. You're just launching a podcast and you want to have a website where you can send your listeners to. Sometimes they will listen your podcast from the podcast players, but then you want them to be able to listen to your podcast from a browser as well, and to have additional information about your podcast, and to have different ways of creating a community of people, so your audience can interact with you and just share with you different ideas and things that they want to share with you when they listen to your podcast. One of the challenges when it comes to being a creator is to get that interaction from your audience, and it feels sometimes like you are creating for nobody. Like you don't have a lot of people reaching out to you or telling you that you're doing well or that they learned something, and for you to have a way to communicate with your audience besides social media, because you can send them to your social media accounts and they can interact with you via DM, but for them to listen to your podcast from a browser and to be able to leave comments on the different episodes that you have posted, that's a pretty cool feature that Buzzsprout uses, and I will show you how it works in a minute. But you can fully customize your website, your podcast website with Buzzsprout. You can change the theme color, you can change your banner. This is your podcast cover art that you will be uploading when you create your account with Buzzsprout. That it will come here. Same with the description of your podcast, what your podcast is about and all that. It will have the latest episode. So this is the homepage of the website. Something that, let me see. So when you share, if you click here on this follow button on your upper right, on the upper right corner, then this is what your listeners will see on your website, which is very helpful because they will come here. Some people, maybe they have a Samsung phone, they don't have an iPhone, and they don't have Apple Podcast, or Maybe their preferred way to listen to podcasts is using Castbox, because they have the app and they've been listening to podcasts on that app, or they use, our radio, Good Pods. So they come here to this page and they have a lot of options, instead of just having one option for them to choose from. And you will also have all of your social links. They will also have a way to copy your RSS feed, paste it into your podcast app. So that's also a way that they can find you in their favorite podcast app, is if they come here and copy the RSS feed of your podcast. They can also subscribe to your podcast. It means that they will get access if you have some exclusive content, episodes that you want to make available only to those who subscribed to the podcast. Then your listeners are able to subscribe for $5 a month. You determine how much you're going to charge for your subscription, and then they can give you even like more money if they want to support the show. Instead of making it $5, they can make it up to $25. And they can choose an emoji, they can share their name and email, and pay using their credit card. And that's a way that they can support the show. And it's also a call to action that you can add to all of your episodes. When you say, hey, I put together these episodes for you for free. And a way that you can support me so I can keep producing my show is by becoming a member. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and that you subscribe to the podcast that way, and you support us that way. There are different ways that your audience can support you, and this will be one that you can share with your audience, definitely. And then they will have access to exclusive content that you will post for them if they subscribe. Then we have all of our social media links. This is where you add all of the social media links that will appear on the website. Then here's the website URL. You can use a custom domain as well. And this hide my public Buzzsprout website from search engines. Will prevent search engines from indexing this website. It will still be available on the internet, but people will not be able to find it through the So yeah, if you decide that you don't want your website to be public, then you can just check this here and save changes. And so that's it. And are there any questions? If we click on here, monetization, then on and I forgot something very important that I was going to do. So I'm not done yet. With monetization, there are different ways that you can monetize with Buzzsprout. The first one is subscribers. So that's what I show you on your customized website that you build on Buzzsprout, is that you can have there and on your landing page a way that people can subscribe to your podcast and get access to exclusive content. So here it will show, how many people have subscribed. And also you can ask, so this is every time you referred Buzzsprout to a new creator, to a new podcast creator, and they sign up for Buzzsprout, then Buzzsprout will give you $20 every time somebody sign up using your code. So it's like an affiliate program that Buzzsprout runs with their creators to get $20 every time somebody signs in. And then you can decide that, this money you can apply towards paying your Buzzsprout invoices, or you can cash out this money using PayPal. And let's see, stats. So here, look at this. We had 50 downloads so far on the episode that we published today. But look, even we haven't been publishing episodes, like I mentioned, since 2022. We still get downloads from the different podcast players, and there's because our content is evergreen, so it will always be relevant, and people can learn from it and listening to it. But if you have a podcast that is about, current news and things that, current events, then you may not experience the same, the moment that you stop producing your podcast, then your downloads may drop because you're not releasing episodes about any current events. But if you have evergreen content and you decide, you know what, I'm just going to take a break, let's say, 6 months or something, longer than that, or 2 years, then you will still get downloads from people who are searching for new episodes, for new podcasts like your podcast, or, topics that you cover with your podcast. Then you will still get those downloads, which I think pretty amazing. Like on YouTube, if you stop posting videos on YouTube, and YouTube is not going to show up your videos to anybody unless they're searching for that specific keyword. So that's the cool thing about podcasting, is that your content is evergreen, and as long as your audience finds a way to get to those episodes, you will still get your downloads. I'll say in the last 90 days, we've gotten 471 downloads. That's pretty amazing for a podcast that we stopped making in 2022. So really cool. So now I'm going to show you something super cool. A super cool feature that I will recommend to anybody who is talking about different things, different events or offers or services, or, if you're selling maybe spots to sponsors, any of that. If you have things that are changing in your podcast and you want to talk about those things, but not leave them there permanently. Let's say that, Black Friday is coming up, and then you want to talk about your Black Friday discounts. And then when Black Friday is over, then you want to take that piece of audio where you share that with your audience. You want to take it off because it's no longer relevant. And you want to do it so it appears on all of your episodes, that in anybody who's listening to episode number 2 or episode number 200, that they will get the same piece of audio, you talking about your Black Friday special discounts. So let me go here just for a minute while I get a hold of the audio files that I created. If I can do so. Where are they? Okay, I don't know where my messages went. That's weird. Okay. Ooh, everything disappeared. Where are my messages? Okay, so I won't be able to do this time, but let me explain to you. So what I was going to do, I'm determined to find my messages, okay? So I have three screens right now, and I can summon my messages because that's where I have the link for the files. But let me see if I can find those files here. So we recorded, it's called, that feature in Buzzsprout is called Dynamic Content. And we recorded a pre-roll for the free podcast Edit Lab where Steven invites people to join the free podcast Edit Lab for them to try podcast editing. And that's our call to action for the pre-roll. And we want to introduce it here, right here, where it says pre-roll. You upload the audio and then you determine where it goes. And then you determine how long it's going to run for. But let me see if I can find the files and then I'll do a quick demonstration for you. So stay with me. Oh, what happened? Okay, where is my mouse? Okay. Oh, what is this? Okay, this isn't gonna work. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Let me find the files. Maybe right here I'll be able to. So is it this one? Yes. So I found a file. So I will take you back to Buzzsprout. Let's just download this. I'm downloading right now the file. Oh, wow. You never know what's going to happen during these live streams. Okay. So let's go back here. And then let's go back to Buzzsprout. And then we upload our audio recents. Downloads. Here it is. And then we upload it to Buzzsprout. And then we give it a title. I'm going to say Free Edit Lab. Free Edit Lab. Free Edit Lab. Free Edit Lab. Pre-roll. And then let's say create dynamic content. It's uploading. It says processing. And then once it's uploaded, we're going to see it right here on this list. So this two were dynamic content that we pre-recorded for and uploaded here to Buzzsprout for one of the holiday sales that we have. These are way old and we're not going to need them. So I'm just going to delete them and just leave the one that I just uploaded. Okay, I deleted those. This is the pre-roll that I'm going to insert on all of our episodes. And I'm going to tell here Buzzsprout that is a pre-roll. And here it is. It's added as a pre-roll. And if we click on edit, let's see. Then I get to tell Buzzsprout to which episodes I want to this piece of audio to be added as a pre-recorded piece of audio. And then I say I'll apply to all of the episodes. And I can also add a mid-roll and I can add a post-roll. I think we created, let me look good. Oh yeah, we created another mid-roll, and that one invites people to my program, Smart and Simple Video Podcasting. So let's just add it here, upload audio, and here it is. And I upload the file, and I'm going to say Smart and Simple Video Podcasting mid-roll. So I know what I'm uploading. And so that's just processing. Should take just a few minutes to process. The other one was shorter. This one is a little longer, and that's why it's taking longer. But here it is. And then we click here, apply to, and we say mid-roll. And then if we want this to apply to certain episodes or to all of the episodes that we have uploaded to Buzzsprout, then we come here and we select and deselect, and we say apply to episodes. And then you can add a pre-roll, a mid-roll, or post-roll. And I think this is a great feature, because when we are done talking about the free edit lab, when we move on to something else, we want to talk about our sponsor, then we replace this, we come here and we take it down, and we take this one down, and then they will be taken down from our episodes. But I'm going to add them again. And I don't know how fast Buzzsprout does this, but if we listen to the episode of 5, let's see. Let's see if I can find it on the podcast players. Here on my phone. No. That sounds cool. Here's the Bad Sound School podcast. And then let's play an episode that we uploaded on February 25, 2022.
Before we dive into this episode, did you know that I have a free mini course at the Podcast Edit Lab? You can learn how to edit
so
podcasts.
Buzzsprout adds this dynamic content immediately to your episodes. So we have 108 episodes, and all of those episodes have this call to action inviting people to go sign up for the free Edit Lab. So it's sending all of those leads, people who are interested in becoming podcast editors, who are actively listen to any of our episodes, will get this information and will go and find the free Edit Lab. So this is by far one of the coolest features I have seen from a podcast host. If you are thinking, if you are on the lookout for a podcast host, Buzzsprout is a great podcast host, and you should definitely give it a try. because of, all of the cool features that they offer for podcast creators, independent podcast creators. And yes, that is it for my little presentation I had prepared for you about Buzzsprout. I can just stay here and answer a few questions. It seems like I have 4 people stayed with me. I appreciate you. Because it's been longer than an hour. Well, that's great. That's pretty awesome. So, any questions? You can go to patsoundschool.com/Buzzsprout. I will leave the link in the description of this live stream for you, so you can sign up for Buzzsprout, and other links that I mentioned during this live stream. If there are no more questions, I will let you go to enjoy your Saturday. I hope that you have great plans for you this weekend. And if if your plan is to just take a nap and catch up on some sleep, which I'm intending to do, then that's a good plan too. Maybe you're a parent like me and you're constantly exhausted. Yeah, you're welcome, Gary. Also, thank you for tuning in, and I hope I get to see you next Saturday. I'm going to keep doing this until the end of the year. And if you have any suggestions as far as something that you would like to learn more about podcasting, video podcasting, content marketing, make sure that you drop those here in the comments, or that, after I post this on YouTube, you can also go on YouTube and leave a comment in this live stream with the suggestions for future topics that you want me to cover. And thank you for participating too. I appreciate that. And thank you, Gary. Gary said, Veronica, your answer. I'm going to say, Veronica, your answer was perfect. It was not too long, but I struggled the same as what you described. I'm looking forward for future shows on live stream. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. And yes, don't overthink it. Just get started. And even if you have only a handful of people showing up for you, that is enough for you to keep going with your live streams. And, a year from now, if you start this upcoming week, a year from now, you will have a bigger audience, and it will just keep getting bigger and bigger, and you will keep getting better. Okay. Well, thank you. And I will see you next Saturday.